Hello, my name is National Grand Chief Guillaume Carl, and my Indian name is Ushtugan Migizi, which means eagle head. Tonight I'm taking, before Christmas obviously, I'm taking some time, and before our international signature, I'm taking some time to make sure that I'm keeping you informed on what we are doing, where we are growing, and what we develop, and why are you different. And you're different because you are Native, and because you are part of the Confederation, which is not a structure by the Government of Canada, but a structure by Native that have reunited together in order to be able to inform you on where we're going and to let you know where we are going and where you can and are able to put some certain pressures. But first of all, I need to wish you a happy Christmas period and time with you and your family, because it is a sacred time for us where we are able to sit down and reunite together and unite together what we are doing. So first of all, the fact that the government of the Confederation of Aboriginal People is actually right under the Confederation enables you to be able to be represented properly. For now, the government of Canada, since Trudeau has been there, has been very ignorant, irresponsible, and they have tried to ignore us. Our real main objective is to work in the international arena, where I'm flying off very soon this month to go be signing a document that's important for the recognition of your rights. It is not important to whine and cry, because that's been done for 400 years. And now we are at war. We are at war for the survival of this people, where we can look at the Government of Canada and say, we are not part of you because we have our own government. I did demonstrate to the United Nations the structure of our government, how it's done. It's a document that's worth about $150,000. It took me 3 years to put together, and I did it for you. And now it is time to reunite the people that are off reserve with the ones that want to be part of us of on reserve, but it has nothing to do with the $15 billion the government gives to the Indians that are on reserve to say what they want. What do I mean by that? When the arrival of the Europeans in 1534, it was a good relationship. It lasted 212 years. And then in 1759, as you know, the English-speaking people from Britain showed up. They went to war. They did not show up to say hi to us. They went to war to retake this property. And as you can study, the Europeans are much more aware of what happened on this land because we were living with the land. And in 1760, there was the Traité de Paris, and in 1763 was the Royal Proclamation that gives you rights of not being a native person that's created for the reserve, but a native person that's under the protection of Her Majesty, which lost on the 15th of April and has made us a serious winner. Now we also understand the same year, the 15th of May, the government endorsed a resolution because they didn't have any choice from the UN that had been already voted by everybody except Canada. Canada was the only country in the world that refused to recognize your rights. So the war cannot be won. The war that has been there since 435 years cannot be won in any way, shape, or form by suing the government, because the government is the problem. So we have to go international, and we have to say that we have a Royal Proclamation. Our rights are established, and the fact that the government want or don't want to recognize us doesn't really matter because they're under us. We existed way before their arrival. It is very important that when I go to your communities, that you show up, because when I speak the truth, and I speak the real truth regarding the growth of our people, since 1534 and before and after. Why is it that Canada's story is well known by the Europeans but not Canadians? Is because the Europeans had a relationship with the Indians. There was no reserves. When the arrival of the non-speaking people in 1534, it did not exist a reserve. Because our land is ours, it was never ever relinquished, and it was never sold either. So the government of Canada cannot say that they own this land, and this is why I'm telling you that today, if you really need to be secured, you go see the dollar value of Canada, it's $1 because it belongs to us. And that's why, in resuming everything that we're living, is that we are now at war to getting our property back, which was never sold, relinquished by our ancestors. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Indians on reserve. The Indians on reserve, when they find out what we're doing, I'm sure that they're going to want to come with us, and if they don't, well, they can stay with the white man. I have no decision made for those people. We are inclusive and not exclusive. So now, I'm asking you to understand that what we are doing is getting our land back, and that we need to get it as a group, because the bottom line is the government of Canada can say what they want, but it is not beyond us. It is under us. So I'm giving you, before I leave with an airplane to go sign international, I'm giving you the fact that, you know what? I want to wish you, your family, your people, the greatest Christmas you're getting, because before it changed to 2020, we are heading in another direction where we can or we can't include Trudeau and his government, because at the end of the day, he's excluded us in every shape he can, and we are not talking to him, because if the problem was created by Canada, it can only be fixed at the UN. Until then, I want to be in a spiritual world with you and tell you that we're seeking and spending this time together, because the idea is to get rejoiceful of what is coming for us. Chimiquetch. Good night.